Before we begin today's Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, I just want to say if anybody's actually interested in a battle sometime, please message me on my YouTube channel via Skype or even on my Twitter account. I'm always pretty active on those type of places. You can also find me on the Zap Pokemon Wi-Fi as well as T-Flare. Those are the main places that I kind of go to and hang out at, and yeah, you can always contact me via there. Whichever two you want to try and do minus Ubers, because I'm pretty crap at that. We can try and have a game. If it's RU and NU, probably I'll have to use my Black One game, unless if I gen some other perks. But mainly, yeah, if you want those type of games, just message me sometime. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on with today's Pokemon Wi-Fi match. Hey everybody, what's up? Kyprotonic here. Today I have a Black 2 OU match against an opponent called Jonaz, who's a very good friend of mine. We kind of have had a few battles recently, and I'm actually hoping to have a few more games with him because, to be honest, he's one of these people I don't have to be all serious with because, you know, fun games are fun. And you can just use whatever you like. And it turns out that that's kind of what he sort of likes to do as well. Throwing me off with some random sets. So his team, he sort of said, I just need to quickly team build something, which turned out to be like 2 hours long. But yeah, this is actually a weatherless game, which is kind of fun to see sometimes and actually narrate over. So, you know, my team is a bit bulky and defensive as well as some offensive perks. So without further ado, let's begin this. Now, we both actually started out with our Landorus Ethereum forms. And to be honest, I kind of expected his Stealth Rock from the start. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to U-turn out. And, you know, even though I'm going to get the switch initiative, I'm going to go into my Jellicent just to, one, see what he wants to try and go for. I am actually a defensive Jellicent. So even if he kind of did predict a switch there or something like that, I would be able to at least take a few hits from that thing. So he does get up the Stealth Rocks. I don't actually carry a Rapid Spinner on this team. This is actually one of the few teams I actually don't have a Rapid Spinner for. Now, in that in mind, I go for the Scald while he went for a Toxic, and that really threw me off guard. I wasn't actually expecting the Toxic. I was actually raging at the fact that he was using Toxic on the Landorus, and because I kind of feel like even though his movesets are a bit diverse, I kind of thought maybe that would be a waste of a move, but you know, Toxic in a wall always makes sense, but the idea of actually having a Toxic on the Landorus just pissed me right off. So he did switch into a Rotom, predicting another Scald. He actually does unfortunately get burned and critted at the same time. And knowing that I can at least take one Volt Switch from that thing, I'm actually going to be able to stay in here and kind of predict his Volt Switch like he did. And he would go into then the Fortress, whilst I went for the Will-O-Wisp and I unfortunately missed. Now looking back on this battle, I kind of realised that Jellicent would have pretty much shut down his Fortress as well as a couple of other Pokemon. But, you know, with him actually going for the Toxic with his Landorus, that kind of nullified any of that thought process overall. And to be honest, I think Jellicent would have pretty much taken on or would have been able to at least handle 3 of his perks in the game. So I actually unfortunately lose my Jellicent, probably due to my stupidity. I'm going to go into Heatran, and here I actually go for Protect, just on the off chance that he might be like one of these Focus Blast sort of tornadoes. So I didn't really want to take the risk of maybe he would actually go for that, but he switches out, goes into the Kyurem. I'm going to switch out, going to go back into my Landorus just to go for the Intimidate with my ability. Turns out he's carrying like some form of special moves on this Kyurem of his. I'm going to go for the U-turn. I kind of thought maybe he would switch out there, you know, he does have at least his own Landorus to take on my Landorus, but he shows me Ice Beam, so thankfully I did go for the U-turn there. I could have gone for the Stone Edge. I don't know if it would have been able to at least take out the thing due to the fact that it has kind of good stats overall, so maybe with me being a Scarfer, I don't know. It just depends on the damage calculation there. So I stay in here with my Skarmory. After seeing at least 2 special moves, I kind of thought maybe he was just a full special set there, so I go for Roost whilst he went for the Fusion Bolt. And he sort of told me he missed Gen this thing. It was supposed to have like the other ability instead of Pressure, so maybe he just kind of messed out there. I'm not really too worried about that, but you know, next time get it sorted out, Jonas. So he brings in his Fortress here now. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird, and I get another crit at this point. So that's good for me, I guess, but it sucks to be him at that point because, you know, he probably would have been at least 3 to 4 hit KO'd by my Brave Birds whilst he's actually going for the Spikes. Considering I don't have a rapid Spinner at all on my team, which is probably a bit stupid considering a lot of things can just pretty much set up any form of entry hazards, even like me not carrying a Fortress or a Tentacruel, for example, is a bit stupid on my behalf, but sometimes I don't really think about that, but you should do when you probably team build, I guess. So at the point, he then goes for the Volt Switch, switches into his Rotom, and I just keep Brave Birding from the looks of it, and you know, it was doing a pretty good hefty chunk on his Fortress, but at this point I'm just going to go for the Roost because I figured he might try something very strange because it's Jonaz and he does strange things because he's from Portugal, and I think anybody from the Eastern European sort of ways in life, or any country in the Eastern European zone, is very pretty much like a pedo to me. So yeah, I'm going to switch out because I'm actually Trick Scarfed locked onto my Roost. I go into my Heatran and he brings in Breloom. I was actually hoping it could be faster than Breloom, hahaha, being faster than Breloom with a Heatran, even though I'm special defensive. That was a stupid thinking. So yep, he goes for Force Palm and easily takes out my Heatran. So I'm going to switch into Miscamry at this point. Just going to, with me being a Choice Scarf, I'm just going to Brave Bird the switch, which is he decides to sacrifice his Fortress, sorry. So that's fine. So yeah, in comes this thing, Mr. Birdman, Torn. He sets up a bulk up. I thought maybe he was going to be a special set for some reason. But no, he shows me Acrobatics with the fly gem as his item. So yeah, it didn't really do too much due to the fact that I do take it pretty nicely, sorry. And yeah, I'm just going to constantly Brave Bird. I have no other option here at this point with my Skarmory. I could obviously switch out and come back in and later on and try to get up a Roost and go from that point, but you know, when in doubt, just Brave Bird all about. That's kind of like my new thing now. Even though I remember Fizzy Stardust saying just keep Brave Bird and every fucker in the way. But yeah, my new saying is when in doubt, just Brave Bird all about. And it kind of does seem to be doing a very good chunk on his team. It kind of fucked up his Tornadus as well as this Landorus, and it did take out the Fortress. With that in mind, I'm going to go into the Spoon Lover. And Spoon Lover is actually going to go for the Psychic, and that's going to be easily able to take out the Landorus due to the fact it's only at quarter HP. So the only big threat left on his end is this Pressure, Pressure, Kirim. So I'm going to switch out back into my Landorus, expecting, I don't know, something. But he goes for Outrage, so yeah, he's actually a mixed set with Leftovers, which makes no sense to me. So he gets a crit, so crits are flying everywhere. Everything's just making no sense because he's got misgen Pokemon. And yeah, so I'm going to go into that threat. That threat is actually going to be my Terrakion. Yeah, I'm just going to close combat this thing. And I'm glad I'm actually out faster than this. Even though I kind of did actually expect to be faster. That's the reason why I brought it in. I'm a choice button variant, so close combat just to take that thing out. And yeah, that thing's just huge. So in comes the Tornadus once again, and I thankfully do live that Acrobatics due to it not being super effective, and I'm just going to close combat, and even though it's not very effective, I get a crit. So, like I say, crits are flying about, things are not making any sense, and misgen Pokemon I've just been using this game, so let's be honest, this game just doesn't really seem to be fair or logical at all. So he brings in Breloom just to take out my Terrakion. I just decided just to leave it in there so I can bring in my Alakazam safely. And yeah, that Mach Punch did way too much for my liking. So I'm guessing he's probably a Choice Banded set there. And Psychic is being super effective. He's easily going to be able to take out Breloom. So he's only down to his final Pokemon, which is this Rotom. I'm going to win this game remarkably. And win. Yes, I won, Jonaz. Haha, see you later.